Hello, folks. We are live here in living color today. It's a great day to be here. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, and we are here in April, y'all. We are here in April. April. So the months are flying by this year. We are here again. This is April. I can't believe that we're already in April. Look, you know what April means. April showers bring May flowers. It's nice and beautiful. We have the nice spring weather coming up, and it's nice, and the flowers are blossoming. However, we do have some little frost, cold weather going on today here in Greensboro, North Carolina. So again, I'm just here to just welcome you all for joining us here for our Cyber Smart session, talking about cyber hygiene. That's what we're talking about, folks. We're talking about Cyber Hygiene Month, and I'm going to talk to you all real briefly about the top 5 best practices for employees. The top 5 best practices for employees to stay compliant and to be safe, okay? Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am here. I'm your host here, Will Castello here, Cyber CEO and Cybersecurity Compliance and Trusted Advisor here at Triad Cyber Solutions. We got a great one for you here today, so we're going to go ahead and get started with what we got going on, okay? Here I have, I want to make sure this is good. Yes, it is. It is good. So I want to make sure I always have an introduction about talking about a lot of little pieces of things, kind of give you a little entry level of things, right? So there are a lot of things about cyber threats. We all know that cyber threats are evolving and it's out here. We already know that. We also know, I've said it many times and over, week after week, month after month, year after year, IT teams working with antivirus is not enough. We already know that, right? But we still have not done anything about that. So the thing is, I am looking here to make sure we understand staying safe in the digital age requires the employees to play a big major role in this whole thing. Why do employees play a major role? Is because they're here right in the thick of things. I'm sitting in front of my PC right now and I'm going through. We're clicking, we're opening, and we're accepting, and we're talking, and we're messaging and responding. So we here are doing things, whether we're here in the office or we're doing it remotely. We're in a digital age where we have to be very, very safe, and you have to watch out what you're doing, folks. Okay? So here in this session, what we're going to talk about are some practices that we really need to follow. And a lot of you are not following this. And then the other thing is, we want to make sure we're looking at practices that a lot of you have IT teams, but they are not cybersecurity specialists, and you're missing the 8 ball. You figure out you have an IT team. They say, oh, yeah, we got a real good firewall. We're putting a Sonic Wall firewall or a Fortinet firewall or Sophos firewall, and they feel like everything is safe. They say we put in a firewall there. We're using a Ubiquity or Meraki type software or hardware device, and we're using still antivirus. We're using Norton AV, Norton EDR. Folks, it's just still not enough. So what I'm going to be talking to you about is how are we going to stay safe in this digital age, and the top 5 compliances and things that we need to do as an employee, as employees, as an employer to help your employees. This is Cyber Hygiene Month. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. I want to take a quick moment right now, quick moment to please visit us on all our social media platforms, okay? Here are all our social media platforms. Please click on those links, join us, join our links, join our Facebook page. We have a tips and insights security page where we post up there all the latest and greatest attacks and things that happen in the world today. So go ahead and make sure you click on those and join it. Also, If you do not get a chance to miss this, or you come in on the tail end of me talking about what we're talking about today, you are able to go back and go onto our YouTube channel, and be able to come back and watch this video again. We are recording this, but we are live. We're live and in living color, folks. So I want to make sure you understand that it's very, very important. One, I would love for you to be here live. Live is the best way to be able to retain and get the proper information, the most updated information right now in real time, in living color. However, if you do miss it, you can go to our YouTube page and click on it and then go back to the videos. You can also click a link and schedule an appointment with us. Okay, but I'm gonna hold that scheduled appointment with us to a little bit later on. We're gonna go ahead and get down to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, because I know everybody's busy and everybody has a lot of things to do in their day. And guess what, folks? I know for a lot of you, it's spring break next week. So by it being spring break next week, for a lot of folks, many, many people are trying to go on vacations. They're going to go out of town. You don't want to mess around and leave your office in a vulnerable situation where you come back, your PC won't start, your data's been compromised, your network's been compromised, because that's when the hackers are working. But we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. The top 5 practices for employees. We're going to talk about being cautious with browser extensions. We all know about browser extensions. When you have Chrome or Edge and these little attachments with these browser extensions are always lurking around. We're going to talk about the the digital footprint of management, meaning making sure we have authentication, making sure you have your password management, all those things down, okay? With those password management things, we're making sure you're having multi-factor authentication, okay? Multi-factor authentication is very, very huge. And I'm not just talking about just to log into your PC, but I'm talking about for email purposes. I'm talking about just getting into your certain accounts. We got to make sure those things are happening. Now, even sometimes MFA is not good enough and not strong enough, because there are some applications and hackers that now can get past MFA. The next thing we want to make sure we're looking at is phishing attacks. There are a lot of fake emails going on right now, and I have a very good story to tell you and share with you later on when we start talking about phishing attacks. And then the last thing I'm going to be talking about today is maintaining zero trust. I'm going to explain exactly what zero trust means, but zero trust meaning, again, how much data to make sure is being presented out there. But we're going to get back into more depth with that again a little bit later. Let's go ahead and start with the browser extensions. With the browser extensions, okay, we're talking about the web, the dark web. You're talking about your browser, Google Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Safari, Microsoft Edge, you name it. If some of you are still using Internet Explorer, because Internet Explorer is still around, you can be looking at that. You have to make sure you are making sure those permissions are managed correctly, where the extensions are not just being automatically downloaded into your browser. Okay? We want to make sure we only install certain extensions, and an example of an extension is like Adobe. Okay, some people have Adobe extensions. Some people have the WeatherBug extensions. Some people may have the Maps extensions. Those are extensions that connect to your browser, and a lot of times can also, if they're misproperly or handled, that they're mishandled improperly, they can create pop-ups. They can create a whole lot of noise going on for you when you're just trying to research a certain program or a file, whatever the case may be. You may be trying to do something that's going to be causing all kinds of stuff. So we want to make sure those browser extensions are being handled properly. The next thing is we're talking about the digital footprint, the digital management footprint. Everything you do online, people see. So when you're on social media, and you're looking at posting pictures, and you want to post a saying, and you want to do all the little extra clip arts, and you want to tag people, you have to be very, very careful on how that's being done. Because when you tag people and then you tag someone else and you tag someone else, well, not knowing what's going on, there are a lot of privacy rules that affect social media platforms, right? So the information that you share, who you share it to, who and what you share it to, as far as the platform, you want to make sure you limit what you're doing, because what will happen is you increase the risk of the bad guys trying to attack you, because they can see your vulnerabilities. You have no idea what your vulnerabilities are, but they can see your vulnerabilities. So making sure we reduce the risk of exposing personal information is going to be vital to making sure that we are maintaining and staying safe of cyber threats. The third thing is using strong passwords. Yeah, I know, Will. We've been talking about passwords a long time. Well, guess what? There are a lot of you that are still not getting it with the passwords. Okay? When we're doing passwords, look, they have algorithms. They have algorithms out there that can figure out what your password is. They have things that there are people that sit behind a desk, and the only thing they do is they can keep doing code, and they keep going through certain networks, certain frameworks, until they find a weak password, which is a lot of you are probably using your phone number, right? Or using your last name or your first name as your password. Complete nonsense, okay? Make sure you mix it up, folks. Uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, symbols, the whole nine. And then you're effectively changing your password. I just say this, all businesses, all of our business clients, they are required to change their passwords at least minimum every 60 days. Now we've changed our policy. We were used to doing it every 90 days, but now we're changing it every 60 days because the hackers are getting that much smarter. Okay? When you're on the personal side, you probably want to change it at least minimum. I would say just minimum. That doesn't mean I'm telling you, recommend it, like you need to do this. But I would just say, if you have nobody watching your stuff and paying attention to your stuff, at least minimum every 6 months. That's still not enough, though. So I would probably go up to 90 days, but residential can be a little different. But the thing is, making sure your passwords are strong. Make sure you have authentication where it's going. You have to authenticate on your phone. Make sure you can have to authenticate on your phone. Even if you're doing it on your phone, either it's by text message or by email. Make sure you have a way to authenticate in order for you to continue accessing a certain platform. Number 4, be wary of phishing attacks. Now, about 2 weeks ago, we had a series of phishing attacks going out to a lot of clients. And they're pretending and they're finding different ways. And we're always trying to find ways to strengthen our defenses and make sure our email filters are that much more better each and every time, right? So what happens is we had a person that they received an email invoice. It was an invoice that was basically invoiced to the company. 2 employees received it. However, one was like, this don't look right. I don't know why a member of our team was sending me an invoice. But they didn't open it because of the training that we provided to them. So they were not getting the proper training from us to learn and understand what to open and what not to open. Now, I get it. Some of you are going to be like, well, I just don't open anything. That's not enough. Because even if you don't open anything, what if you do open something that does look right? You're bound to open your emails. If you have somebody managing your emails for you, someone is going to open up an email. A lot of you, and then another thing is, a lot of you may say, oh, well, we're going to use the preview. You have your Outlook or your Gmail or whatever platform you're using. Oh, we can hit the preview, or you can have it split. You have it one left side, all your mailboxes or your subtitled boxes, that's folders that you have on the left. But then in the middle, you can see like, oh, this is where I can see the body of who it came from. But then also then on the right, you can be like, hey, this is the email. So you don't have to click on it. Well, the problem with that, folks, is they already know that you're doing that. That's still not enough. So the thing is, you want to make sure that you are with a provider like us to be able to help make sure we filter out all of that crap. Okay? You're going to make sure we're double down. You're making sure we're watching the sending addresses. We're watching, making sure we're not clicking on suspicious links. You're never going to download stuff that you have no idea of. Even if something looks and feels like it's bad, don't do it. But you also need to send it to your tech department so they can go ahead and put a solution in place so it doesn't come back again. That's also another reason why some of you may be like, hey, I have John over here. He does our IT. He ain't no IT person. John is just the guy on a block that's helping you save money, sort of, you say. You feel like you're saving money, and John knows enough about the IT, but the problem is he does not understand the language. He doesn't understand the logistics. He doesn't understand the regulations. He doesn't understand the compliances. He doesn't understand the risk that you're putting your business in. So what I'm saying is you're going to have John over here working your IT, him talking about we're going to make sure the network is safe, where when you do get audited, and your audits, when they come, per occurrence, you could be looking at fines of up to $10,000 each because you allow John over here or Mary to deal with your IT stuff. So the thing is, you need to come with a trusted advisor like Triad Cyber Solutions to be able to help you make sure you mitigate and you protect you and your organization from serious damage. Okay? The last thing I'm going to talk about is limit your access to sensitive information. This is part of the zero trust world where, let's just say you are you're a CPA and you're in the marketing department. And then you have another CPA over here who's in the finance department. And then you have another CPA that's in I don't know, let's just say the people area. I don't know. Let's just keep it in two areas. Okay, let me just rephrase that. Keep it in two areas. We got marketing and we got finances. Now, there's no reason in the world why the marketing person should be seeing anything in the finance side. That's what I'm talking about. Do not allow access to certain information, especially a lot of you who have a server. Many people have a server. They either fired the IT person 2-3 years ago, or you have an IT person and nothing's being properly updated because you want to save money. So because the IT department is not properly updating the server is doing its own updates, which more than likely are missing a lot of critical updates that it needs, which also means that permissions, there's share files and everything that's there, and anybody can get access to it. Well, guess what? What's to say that your server that you have sitting there, that you're still working off of every day, has not already been hit? Those shareable folders, what happens if those shareable folders became a network share folder? And when it becomes a network share folder, the right person can know what to do on how to create that share folder, create an IP address to that, and now get access to that information. I might be going a little bit deeper than I should, but what I'm telling you is, folks, you have to make sure you understand, do not limit, do not pass on information that should not be shared. Okay? If you want to learn more about all of these things, these top 5 pieces that I talked to you about today that employees can help, hey, We're going to turn here. Here's a QR code I'm posting up here right now. Scan this QR code, schedule an appointment with me. We can go in depth and talk to you. I love to get the chance to know you. I want you to be able to ask me questions. I can ask you questions about your environment. Folks, I love to hear what your pain points are. I want to be able to solve what issues you may have. If you have an IT person, but you're like, you know what? Well, Will, I heard you talking about, making sure cybersecurity and cybersecurity training. Let me help cure that issue. Okay, let me help cure that issue. So I'm here as a trusted advisor to help you gain what you need to gain. Okay, so schedule a quick session with me here today. Don't wait too long. I'm always available. My calendar is attached to this QR code. You can go to our website. Also, join us on some email marketing tips. Join us to connect with us on our newsletter. We will send you a newsletter letting you know and giving you all the tips and insights of what's going on. We have a blog page that you can be welcome to watching and get more information from as well. But when you see email and things coming from us, folks, please take note. marketing@tcscompliance.com. That is our website. Not our website. That's our email address. When you see that email, just know, hey, that's that Will guy. He's that trusted advisor. We need to open this. It's not spam. It's not a hack. We're only here to help. But again, at the end of the day, I would love for you, if you just want to have a 15-minute or 20-minute conversation, listen, schedule that QR code. We'll schedule a time. Pick a time that works best for you. And for some reason, none of those times work best for you, give us a call at this number here. I would personally open up my calendar and personally say, look, I want to go ahead and connect with you to make sure we're good to go. Okay? Well, folks, that's my time for today. Until next time, number one, if you're going on spring break and you're dealing with the kids, have a good time, have a good week. But folks, don't forget, give us a call so we can watch your machines. We can make sure your machines are maintained and up to par while you are on vacation. Because trust me, while you're on vacation, the hackers are still working. They're working day, night, weekend. It doesn't matter. They are always working. So, again, thank y'all very much. We'll see you next time at our next Cybersecurity Smart session. And until then, have a great day.